Hello, hello. Welcome to Beginner English, the podcast. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Mike. We're so happy you're here today.
Yes, we love talking with English learners from all around the world. How are you doing today, Mike?
I'm doing great, Sarah. I had my morning coffee, so I am ready to help our listeners improve their English. What about you?
I'm wonderful. I'm excited about today's topic. Mike, can you tell our listeners what we're talking about today?
Of course. Today we're talking about the power of daily English practice. Sarah, why do you think this topic is so important?
Oh, that's a great question, Mike. I think daily practice is like brushing your teeth. You do it every day, right? You don't brush your teeth for 3 hours on Sunday and then nothing for the rest of the week.
That's a funny example, Sarah, but you're absolutely right. English is the same. A little bit every day is much, much better than a lot once a week.
Exactly. So today, we want to help you understand why daily practice is so powerful. We'll give you easy ways to practice every day, and we'll do some practice together right here on the podcast.
That sounds perfect. And listeners, don't worry if you're just starting to learn English. We'll speak slowly and use simple words. We want everyone to understand.
Yes. Whether you're A1, A2, or B1 level, this episode is for you. Are you ready to learn, Mike?
I'm ready. Let's start.
Okay, Mike, let's talk about why daily practice is so important. I have a question for you. What's better, studying English for 3 hours on Saturday or studying English for 15 minutes every day?
That's easy. 15 minutes every day is much better. But Sarah, can you explain why? Some of our listeners might think 3 hours is more time.
Good question. You're right. 3 hours is more time in total. But here's the thing. Our brains work better with regular practice. Think of it like this. Mike, do you play any sports?
I love playing basketball. I try to practice shooting every day for about 20 minutes.
Perfect. So, Mike, what would happen if you didn't practice basketball for 6 days and then you practiced for 3 hours on Sunday?
Oh, that would be terrible. I would be very tired, my shots wouldn't be good, and I might hurt my body because I'm not used to it.
Exactly. Your basketball skills need daily practice to stay strong. English is the same. When you practice English every day, your brain remembers better.
That makes sense. Sarah, can you give our listeners another example?
Sure. Let's think about learning to ride a bicycle. Imagine a child wants to learn. What's better, trying to ride a bike for 4 hours on one day or practicing for 15 minutes every day for a week?
Definitely 15 minutes every day. The child would be scared and tired after 4 hours. But 15 minutes every day? That's perfect. Not too much, not too little.
Yes, and after a week of daily practice, the child will probably ride the bike very well. This is because the brain needs time to understand new things. We call this muscle memory.
That's right. And in English, we have language memory. When you practice a little bit every day, your brain starts to remember English words and grammar automatically.
Great explanation, Mike. Let me give our listeners one more example. Think about your phone. What happens if you don't charge your phone for many days?
It dies. The battery goes to 0.
Right. But what if you charge your phone a little bit every day?
It stays strong. The battery is always ready.
Perfect. Your English is like a phone battery. Daily practice keeps your English strong and ready. Long breaks make your English battery weak.
I love that example, Sarah. So listeners, remember, your English needs daily charging, just like your phone.
I like that. Charge your English every day. Mike, there's another reason why daily practice is important. Can you guess?
Is it about building habits?
Yes, exactly. When you do something every day, it becomes a habit. And habits are easy. They don't feel difficult.
That's so true. I brush my teeth every morning. I don't think, I don't want to brush my teeth today. I just do it. It's automatic.
Perfect example. When English practice becomes a habit, you don't need to think about it. You just do it. And that makes learning much, much easier.
Mike, Sarah, I want to ask you something. Some of our listeners might say, but I'm so busy. I don't have time to practice English every day. What would you tell them?
Great question, Mike. I would say you don't need much time. Even 5 minutes is good. 5 minutes every day is better than 0 minutes.
5 minutes? Really?
Really? Think about it. 5 minutes every day for 1 week is 35 minutes. 5 minutes every day for a month is about 2.5 hours. That's a lot.
Wow, that's amazing math, Sarah. I never thought about it that way.
Right? And here's the best part. 5 minutes feels easy. You can find 5 minutes, maybe while you drink coffee in the morning or while you wait for the bus.
I love that idea. Sarah, let's give our listeners some more reasons why daily practice is powerful. What about confidence?
Oh, confidence. Yes, that's so important, Mike. When you practice every day, you feel more confident about English. Every day you get a little bit better. You feel proud.
Exactly. And when you feel confident, you want to practice more. It's like a positive cycle.
Yes, a positive cycle. That's a great way to say it, Mike. Practice makes you confident. Confidence makes you want to practice more. Practice, confidence, practice, confidence.
It never stops. That's the power of daily practice.
Mike, there's one more thing I want to talk about. When you practice every day, you don't forget what you learned yesterday.
Oh, that's important. Sarah, can you explain this more?
Sure. Imagine you learn 10 new words on Monday. Then you don't practice English again until Friday. What happens to those 10 words?
You probably forget them, or you remember maybe 2 or 3 words, but not all 10 words.
Exactly. But what if you practice those 10 words a little bit every day from Monday to Friday?
Then you remember all 10 words, and they become part of your vocabulary forever.
Perfect. This is why daily practice is so powerful. You build your English step by step. Every day you add something new, but you also keep what you learned yesterday.
It's like building a house, Sarah. Every day you add 1 brick. After many days, you have a strong house.
I love that comparison, Mike. Your English is like a house. Daily practice adds 1 brick every day. Soon you have a beautiful, strong English house.
I can imagine it. A house made of English words and grammar. So listeners, now you know why daily practice is powerful. Let's review quickly. Daily practice is better than long, rare study sessions because
our brains learn better with regular practice.
Right. And because daily practice helps you build habits.
And habits make learning easier and automatic.
Yes. And daily practice helps you remember what you learned yesterday.
And it helps you feel more confident about English.
Perfect summary, Mike. Now let's talk about different ways to practice English every day.
I'm excited about this part.
Me too. This is where we give our listeners lots of practical ideas.
Okay, Mike, let's help our listeners find ways to practice English every day. I think we should talk about the 4 main skills: listening, speaking, reading, and writing.
Great idea, Sarah. Let's start with listening. Listening is so important for English learners. Sarah, what are some easy ways to practice listening every day?
Well, the first way is podcasts, like this one. Mike, do you think our listeners should listen to podcasts every day?
Absolutely. Podcasts are perfect for daily practice. You can listen while you walk, while you cook, while you clean your house.
Exactly. And there are so many English podcasts for beginners. You can choose topics you love. Do you like cooking? Listen to cooking podcasts in English.
That's a great tip, Sarah. What about music? Can music help with daily English practice?
Oh, yes. Music is wonderful for English practice. When you listen to English songs, you practice listening and pronunciation at the same time.
Right. But Sarah, I want to give our listeners a tip about music. Choose songs with clear words. Some rock or rap music might be too fast for beginners.
Good point, Mike. Pop music is usually good for English learners. The words are clear and not too fast, and you can find the lyrics online to read while you listen.
Perfect. What about YouTube, Sarah?
YouTube has so many English videos.
YouTube is amazing for English practice. You can watch cooking videos, travel videos, how-to videos, anything you like. And Mike, here's a great tip. Turn on English subtitles.
Yes, subtitles help so much. You listen and read at the same time. That's double practice.
Exactly. And you can watch the same video many times. The first time with subtitles, the second time without subtitles.
I love that idea. Sarah, what about TV shows and movies? Are they good for daily practice?
They can be, but Mike, I think TV shows are better than movies for beginners. Do you know why?
Is it because TV shows are shorter?
That's one reason, but also TV shows use the same characters and similar vocabulary every episode. So you get used to their voices and the words they use.
That makes sense. It's like making friends with the characters. You understand them better every day.
I like that, Mike. Making friends with TV characters. But remember, listeners, choose shows for your level. Don't choose something too difficult.
Right. Start with children's shows if you're a beginner. They use simple words and speak slowly.
Great advice. Okay, Mike, let's talk about speaking practice. This is where many English learners feel scared.
You're right, Sarah. Many people are afraid to practice speaking, but speaking practice is so important. What are some ways to practice speaking every day?
Well, the easiest way is to talk to yourself. Mike, do you ever talk to yourself in English?
Yes, I do. Sometimes I practice presentations in the mirror. It feels silly, but it helps.
It's not silly at all. Talking to yourself is great practice. You can describe your day, your plans, your feelings, anything.
And listeners, here's the good news. When you talk to yourself, you can't make mistakes. Well, you can, but no one will judge you.
Exactly. It's safe practice. Mike, what about talking to friends or family?
That's wonderful if you have English-speaking friends or family. But Sarah, many of our listeners might not have English speakers around them.
True. But Mike, these days we have technology. There are apps where you can talk to AI, like ChatGPT Voice or Google Assistant.
Oh, that's a great idea, Sarah. You can ask the AI simple questions like, how's the weather, or what time is it, and have a little conversation.
Yes, and AI is patient. It won't get tired if you ask the same question 10 times.
That's true. What about language exchange apps, Sarah? Apps where you talk to real people who want to learn your language.
Those are great too. Apps like HelloTalk or Tandem. You can practice English with someone who wants to learn your native language. It's like trading.
I love that concept. Language trading. But Sarah, some people might be too shy for video calls. What can they do?
Good question. They can start with text messages first, then maybe voice messages, and when they feel ready, video calls.
Perfect. Step by step. Sarah, here's another speaking practice idea, reading aloud.
Oh, excellent idea, Mike. You can read news articles, stories, or even your text messages out loud. This helps with pronunciation and confidence.
And listeners, when you read aloud, try to copy the rhythm and melody of English. English has a special music to it.
Great point, Mike. English is not flat. It goes up and down like a song. Reading aloud helps you practice this.
Sarah, let's talk about reading practice now. What are good ways to practice reading English every day?
Reading is one of my favorite ways to practice. It's quiet, you can do it anywhere, and there are so many options. Mike, what do you think is the easiest way to start reading practice?
I think social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. People write in simple English on social media.
That's brilliant, Mike. Social media English is usually short and simple. Perfect for beginners. And it's about real life, so the vocabulary is useful.
Right, and you can read comments too. You see how real people use English in conversations.
What about news websites, Mike? Are they good for reading practice?
They can be, but Sarah, I think regular news might be too difficult for beginners. The vocabulary is sometimes advanced.
Good point. But there are news websites for English learners, like News in Slow English or Breaking News English. They use simple words and explain difficult topics.
That's perfect. Sarah, what about reading signs and labels in English?
Oh, I love this idea, Mike. If you live in a country where English is common, you can read street signs, shop signs, food labels. It's like a game.
Yes, and even if you don't live in an English-speaking country, many products have English on them. Shampoo bottles, food packages.
Exactly. You can practice reading English while you brush your teeth or eat breakfast. It's reading practice hidden in your daily life.
So smart, Sarah. What about books? Should beginners try to read English books?
Absolutely. But Mike, they need to choose the right books. What would you suggest?
I'd suggest starting with children's books or graded readers. Graded readers are books written especially for English learners.
Perfect. Children's books have simple words, short sentences, and pictures to help you understand. And the stories are usually fun.
Right. Don't worry about reading adult books immediately. Start easy and build up slowly.
Great advice. Mike, let's talk about writing practice now. Many people think writing is the most difficult skill.
You're right, Sarah. But writing practice can be very simple. You don't need to write long essays. What are some easy ways to practice writing every day?
The easiest way is keeping a simple journal. Mike, do you keep a journal?
I try to. I write just 2 or 3 sentences about my day. Like, today I went to the store. I bought apples and bread. The weather was sunny.
Perfect example, Mike. Simple sentences about your daily life. This is excellent writing practice.
And listeners, when you write in your journal, don't worry about grammar mistakes. The goal is to practice, not to be perfect.
Exactly. What about writing text messages, Mike? If you have English-speaking friends, you can text them in English.
That's great practice. Text messages are usually short and informal, perfect for beginners.
And even if you don't have English-speaking friends, you can change the language on your phone to English. Then when you write notes to yourself, you practice English writing.
Oh, that's clever, Sarah. What about social media posts? Can people practice writing by posting on Facebook or Instagram?
Absolutely. You can write about your photos, your thoughts, your day. Social media writing is usually simple and personal.
And other people might comment on your posts. Then you can practice reading and writing in conversations.
Right. It's like having a little English community. Mike, what about making shopping lists or to-do lists in English?
That's such a practical idea, Sarah. Instead of writing comprar leche or kaimono, write buy milk and go shopping.
Exactly. You practice English while you organize your life. It's very efficient.
Mike, I want to mention something important about writing practice. Should beginners worry about perfect spelling and grammar?
Great question, Mike. I think beginners should focus on communication first. Can people understand your message? If yes, that's success.
I agree. Perfect grammar and spelling can come later. First, practice expressing your ideas in English.
Right. And Mike, here's a tip for our listeners. When you write, try to use words you learned recently. This helps you remember them.
Excellent tip. So if you learned the word delicious today, try to use it in your journal, like, I ate a delicious sandwich.
Perfect. Now the word becomes part of your active vocabulary.
Mike, I think we've given our listeners lots of ideas for daily practice. Should we summarize the 4 skills?
Good idea, Mike. Let's do a quick review. For listening practice, you can listen to podcasts, music, YouTube videos, and TV shows.
For speaking practice, you can talk to yourself, use AI apps, join a language exchange, or read aloud.
For reading practice, you can read social media, simple news sites, signs and labels, children's books, or graded readers.
And for writing practice, you can keep a journal, write text messages, post on social media, or make lists in English.
Perfect summary, Mike. The important thing is to choose activities you enjoy. If you like music, practice with songs. If you like cooking, watch cooking videos in English.
Exactly. When you enjoy your practice, it doesn't feel like work. It feels like fun.
Now, let's give our listeners some practical tips to make daily practice easier and more effective.
Okay, Sarah, now let's give our listeners some really practical tips. These are tips that will help them practice English every single day.
I'm excited about this part, Mike. Let's start with the most important tip. Start small. Mike, what do you think start small means?
Great question, Sarah. Start small means don't try to practice for 2 hours on your first day. Start with just 5 or 10 minutes.
Exactly. Many people make this mistake. They think, I want to learn English fast, so I'll study for 3 hours today. But what happens, Mike?
They get tired, and then tomorrow they don't want to practice at all. 3 hours feels too difficult.
Right. But if you start with 5 minutes, it feels easy. You think, I can do 5 minutes, and after you do 5 minutes for a week, maybe you want to do 10 minutes.
That's perfect, Sarah. It's like exercise. You don't run a marathon on your first day. You start by running for 10 minutes.
Great comparison. Your English learning is like training for a marathon. Slow and steady wins the race.
I love that saying. Slow and steady wins the race. Sarah, what's our second practical tip?
The second tip is choose the same time every day. Mike, why do you think this is important?
Is it because it helps you build a habit?
Exactly. When you practice English at the same time every day, it becomes automatic. You don't need to think, when should I practice today?
That makes sense. So if I always practice English at 7 a.m. with my morning coffee, it becomes part of my morning routine.
Perfect example, Mike. Some people practice in the morning, some people practice during lunch, some people practice before bed. What matters is choosing one time and sticking to it.
Right. Sarah, what time do you think is best for English practice?
That's a great question. I think the best time is different for every person. Mike, what time works best for you?
I like practicing in the morning because my brain is fresh. But I know some people prefer evening because they have more free time.
Exactly. The best time is the time that works for your life. If you're busy in the morning, practice in the evening. If you're tired in the evening, practice in the morning.
Great advice. The important thing is consistency. Same time every day.
Right. Mike, what's our fourth practical tip?
The fourth tip is set small, specific goals. Sarah, can you explain what this means?
Of course. Instead of saying, I want to improve my English, say, I want to learn 5 new words this week.
That's much better. 5 new words this week is specific and achievable. Improve my English is too general.
Exactly. Mike, can you give our listeners more examples of small, specific goals?
Sure. How about I will listen to 1 English podcast episode this week, or I will write 3 sentences in my journal every day.
Perfect examples. Those goals are small,
Perfect examples. Those goals are small, specific, and easy to measure. You know exactly when you've achieved them.
And when you achieve small goals, you feel proud. You feel motivated to set more goals.
Yes, success creates more success. Mike, here's another example. I will read 1 news article in English every day for 1 week.
I love that. It's specific, it's achievable, and it builds a daily habit.
Our fourth practical tip is use a notebook or your phone to track your progress. Mike, why is tracking progress important?
Good question, Sarah. I think tracking progress helps you see how much you're improving. Sometimes we don't notice our progress day by day.
Exactly. When you write down what you practiced each day, you can look back and think, wow, I practiced every day this week. I'm doing great.
Right. And if you miss a day, you can see it and get back on track quickly.
Perfect. Mike, what are some simple ways to track progress?
Well, you could use a simple notebook and write, Monday, listened to podcast for 10 minutes. Tuesday, read news article and learned 3 new words.
That's great. Or you could use your phone. Take a photo of the book you're reading or write a quick note about what you practiced.
I like the photo idea, Sarah. Visual progress tracking can be very motivating.
Exactly. And there are apps for tracking habits too. But a simple notebook works just fine.
Right. Don't make it complicated. The goal is to remember what you did, not to create extra work.
Great point, Mike. Our 5th practical tip is very important. Don't worry about mistakes.
This is so important, Sarah. Many English learners are afraid of making mistakes, but mistakes are normal and helpful.
Exactly. Mike, can you explain to our listeners why mistakes are good?
Sure. When you make a mistake, your brain notices it. Then your brain tries to remember the correct way. This helps you learn.
Perfect explanation. Mistakes are not failures. Mistakes are learning opportunities.
Right. And Sarah, here's something important. Native English speakers make mistakes too.
That's so true, Mike. I sometimes say good instead of well, or forget to use articles like and the.
See? Even native speakers aren't perfect. So English learners shouldn't worry about being perfect either.
Exactly. The goal is communication, not perfection. If people understand your message, you're successful.
Great way to think about it, Sarah. Our 6th tip is mix different types of practice. Can you explain this one?
Of course. Don't do the same thing every day. If you only listen to podcasts, you only practice listening. But English has 4 skills: listening, speaking, reading, and writing.
Right. So maybe Monday you listen to a podcast, Tuesday you write in your journal, Wednesday you read an article.
Perfect. Mixing different activities keeps your practice interesting and develops all your English skills.
And Sarah, different activities help your brain in different ways. Reading helps you learn spelling. Listening helps you learn pronunciation.
Exactly. All 4 skills work together to make your English stronger.
Sarah, I want to add another tip. Find an accountability partner.
Ooh, that's an excellent idea, Mike. Can you explain what an accountability partner is?
Sure. An accountability partner is someone who helps you stick to your goals. Maybe it's a friend who is also learning English.
I love this. So you can text each other every day. Did you practice English today?
Exactly. Or you can practice together. Maybe you both listen to the same podcast and then discuss it.
That sounds like fun. Having a friend makes practice more enjoyable and helps you stay motivated.
Right. And Sarah, here's something important. If you don't have friends learning English, you can join online communities. There are Facebook groups, Reddit communities, Discord servers.
Great suggestion, Mike. Online communities are like having thousands of accountability partners.
That's a lot of partners. Sarah, what's our next tip?
Our next tip is celebrate small victories. Mike, what does this mean?
I think it means being proud of small achievements. Like if you practiced English every day for 1 week, that's a victory.
Exactly. Don't wait until you're fluent to feel proud. Be proud when you learn 5 new words. Be proud when you understand a whole podcast episode.
Right. Every small step forward is progress. Sarah, how can people celebrate these small victories?
Great question. Maybe treat yourself to your favorite coffee when you complete a week of practice, or watch a movie you love.
I like that. Or you could share your achievement with friends or family. Hey, I practiced English every day this week.
Yes, sharing your success makes it feel even real and important.
Sarah, here's another tip. Be flexible. Sometimes life gets busy and you can't do your normal practice routine.
That's so true, Mike. If you usually practice for 15 minutes, but you only have 5 minutes today, practice for 5 minutes.
Exactly. 5 minutes is better than 0 minutes. Don't think all or nothing.
Right. And if you miss one day, don't give up. Just start again the next day.
Perfect attitude, Sarah. One missed day doesn't ruin everything. Just get back on track.
Mike, I want to add one more tip. Make it fun. If your English practice is boring, you won't want to do it every day.
Great point, Sarah. How can people make English practice more fun?
Well, choose topics you love. If you love cooking, watch cooking videos in English. If you love sports, read sports news in English.
That's brilliant. Your hobbies and interests can become English practice.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to be silly. Practice English accents, sing English songs, talk to your pet in English.
I love the pet idea, Sarah. Pets are great listeners, and they never judge your pronunciation.
Right. And they're always happy to listen to you practice English.
Sarah, I think we've given our listeners lots of practical tips. Should we summarize them?
Good idea. Let's quickly review all our practical tips. Number 1, start small. Begin with just 5 or 10 minutes a day.
Number 2, choose the same time every day to build a habit.
Number 3, set small, specific goals that you can measure.
Number 4, use a notebook or phone to track your progress.
Number 5, don't worry about mistakes. They're part of learning.
Number 6, mix different types of practice to develop all your English skills.
Number 7, find an accountability partner or join online communities.
Number 8, celebrate small victories and be proud of your progress.
Number 9, be flexible. Something is better than nothing.
And number 10, make it fun by choosing topics and activities you enjoy.
Perfect summary, Mike. Now let's do something exciting. Let's practice English together with our listeners.
I love this idea, Sarah. This will be like a mini English lesson right here in the podcast.
Okay, listeners, this is the fun part. We're going to practice English together. Mike and I will guide you through some exercises. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Sarah, should our listeners find a quiet place where they can speak out loud?
That's a great idea, Mike. Listeners, if you can, find a place where you feel comfortable speaking. But if you can't speak out loud right now, you can practice in your mind.
Perfect. Sarah, let's start with some repeat after me phrases. These are useful phrases that our listeners can use every day.
Excellent idea. Okay, listeners, I'll say a phrase, then you repeat it. Ready? Here's the first one. Good morning. How are you today?
Did you repeat that, listeners? Let's try it again. Good morning. How are you today? Great job, everyone.
Here's another useful phrase. Thank you so much for your help.
Perfect. That's a phrase you can use with shopkeepers, waiters, friends. Let's try one more. Excuse me, could you repeat that?
Oh, that's such an important phrase, Mike. Listeners, don't be afraid to ask people to repeat things. Native speakers will be happy to help you.
Exactly. Okay, Sarah, let's try some daily conversation questions. I'll ask a question and our listeners can answer out loud.
Great. And listeners, there are no wrong answers. Just practice speaking. Mike, ask the first question.
Okay, here's an easy question. What did you eat for breakfast today?
Take your time, listeners. Think about your breakfast. Maybe you had coffee and toast. Maybe you had rice and eggs. Answer out loud. I had...
Wonderful. Here's another question. What's your favorite color?
Remember to answer in a complete sentence. My favorite color is... What color makes you happy?
Great job, everyone. Mike, let's ask about their plans. What are you going to do after listening to this podcast?
I love this question. Maybe you're going to work or study or cook dinner? Try to answer. After this podcast, I'm going to...
Excellent. Listeners, how did that feel? Speaking practice can feel strange at first, but it gets easier every time.
That's so true, Mike. Now, let's try some role play. This is where we practice real conversations.
Perfect. Sarah, let's do a simple role play about ordering coffee. I'll be the customer. You'll be the barista.
Great idea. Listeners, you can listen and learn, or you can practice being the customer with us. Ready, Mike?
Ready. Here we go. Good morning. I'd like to order a coffee, please.
Good morning. What kind of coffee would you like? We have espresso, cappuccino, and regular coffee.
I'll have a cappuccino, please. Medium size.
Would you like anything to eat with that? We have croissants and muffins.
No, thank you. Just the cappuccino. How much is it?
That's $4.50. Cash or card?
Cash, please. Thank you.
You're welcome. Your cappuccino will be ready in 2 minutes.
Perfect role play, Sarah. Listeners, did you notice the polite phrases we used? I'd like, please, thank you, you're welcome.
Yes, polite phrases make conversations friendly and natural. Mike, let's try another role play. How about asking for directions?
Great choice. This time, listeners, try to be the person asking for directions. I'll be a helpful local person, right?
Listeners, imagine you're lost and you need to find the library. How would you ask? Try it. Excuse me, could you help me find the library?
Of course. The library is very easy to find. Go straight down this street for 2 blocks, then turn left. It's the big building with the red door.
Now, what should you say? Try, thank you so much. How long does it take to walk there?
About 5 minutes. It's very close. You can't miss it.
And finally, thank you for your help. Have a great day.
You're welcome. You too.
Excellent. Listeners, how did that feel? Did you try speaking along with us?
Even if you felt shy, that's normal. Speaking practice takes courage, but you're doing great.
Now let's practice describing things. This is very useful for daily conversation. Mike, let's practice describing the weather.
Perfect topic, Sarah. Weather is something everyone talks about. Listeners, look outside your window. How's the weather today?
Try to make a complete sentence. Today is sunny and warm, or today is cloudy and cool.
Great. Now try to add more details. Today is sunny and warm, so I'm wearing a t-shirt. Or today is rainy, so I need an umbrella.
Wonderful. Describing weather is great practice because you can do it every day. Every morning, look outside and describe what you see.
Exactly. Sarah, let's practice describing feelings, too. This is important for expressing yourself in English.
Good idea. Listeners, how are you feeling right now? Are you happy, excited, tired, nervous?
Try to say, I feel. Remember, feelings are always changing, so you can practice this every day.
And if you want to explain why you feel that way, you can add because. Like, I feel excited because I'm learning English.
Perfect example, Sarah. Or, I feel proud because I practiced English today.
I love that. Mike, let's do one more practice exercise. Let's practice talking about daily routines.
Great idea. Daily routines are perfect for English practice because they use simple verbs in present tense.
Listeners, think about your morning routine. What do you do first when you wake up? Try to say, when I wake up,
Maybe, when I wake up, I brush my teeth. Or, when I wake up, I drink coffee.
Good. Now what do you do next? Then or after that,
This is excellent practice, listeners. You're using sequence words like first, then, after that, and finally.
Right. These words help you tell stories and explain processes. Very useful.
Mike, I think our listeners have done a lot of great practice. How do you think they did?
I think they did amazingly well. Even if they felt shy or made mistakes, they tried. That's the most important thing.
Absolutely. Remember, listeners, every time you practice speaking, you get a little bit better. Even if you can't hear the difference, your brain is learning.
That's so true, Mike. And the more you practice, the more confident you become. Now, let's move to our motivational section. I want to encourage all our listeners to keep going with their English practice.
Okay, listeners, this part is very important. Learning English is not always easy. Sometimes you feel excited, sometimes you feel frustrated. That's completely normal.
You're absolutely right, Sarah. All English learners have good days and difficult days. Even native English speakers had to learn English when they were children.
That's a great point, Mike. Nobody is born speaking perfect English. Everyone starts from zero and builds up slowly.
Exactly. Sarah, what would you say to a listener who feels like their English isn't improving?
Oh, that's such a common feeling, Mike. I would say progress in language learning is often invisible. You can't see it day by day, but it's happening.
That's beautiful, Sarah. Can you give an example?
Sure. Imagine a tree growing in your garden. Every day you look at it, and it looks the same. But after 6 months, you realize it's much taller.
Perfect analogy. Your English is like that tree. Every day of practice helps it grow, even if you can't see the change immediately.
Right. And Mike, here's another thing I tell discouraged learners. Celebrate small victories. Did you understand one more word today than yesterday? That's progress.
Yes. Did you speak for 10 seconds without thinking? Amazing. Did you read a whole paragraph without looking up words? Fantastic.
I love your enthusiasm, Mike. Small victories are still victories. They all add up to big improvements.
Absolutely. Sarah, what about learners who compare themselves to others? Someone might think, my friend learns English faster than me.
Oh, comparison is so dangerous for motivation. Mike, everyone learns at their own speed. Some people are fast, some people are slow, but everyone can reach their goals.
That's so true, Sarah. And you know what, Mike? Sometimes the slow learners end up speaking better English because they build strong foundations.
Exactly. Like building a house. Fast building might be weak. Slow, careful building creates something strong and beautiful.
I love that comparison. Sarah, what advice would you give to someone who wants to give up?
I would tell them giving up is the only real failure. As long as you keep trying, you're succeeding, even if it feels slow.
That's powerful, Sarah. And I would add, think about why you started learning English. What was your dream or goal?
Great point. Maybe you wanted to travel or get a better job or talk to friends from other countries. Remember that dream.
Yes, your dream is still possible. Every day of practice brings you closer to that dream.
Sarah, I want to share something personal. When I was learning Spanish, I felt frustrated many times. I thought, I'll never speak Spanish well.
Really, Sarah? But your Spanish is excellent now.
Thank you. But it took time and patience. There were days when I wanted to quit, but I kept practicing a little bit every day, and eventually I had breakthrough moments.
What's a breakthrough moment, Sarah?
A breakthrough moment is when suddenly you realize you can do something you couldn't do before, like understanding a whole movie or having a conversation without thinking about grammar.
I love those moments. They're like magic. Sarah, I had a similar experience learning French. For months, I felt like I wasn't improving. Then one day, I watched a French movie and understood everything.
That's exactly what I mean. Those breakthrough moments make all the daily practice worth it.
And listeners, your breakthrough moment is coming too. You just need to keep practicing every day.
That's right. Mike, what would you tell someone who says, I don't have talent for languages?
I would say talent is just the speed of learning, not the ability to learn. Everyone can learn languages. Some people learn in 1 year, some people learn in 3 years. Both are successful.
Perfect answer, Mike. And honestly, I think talent is mostly about enjoying the process and practicing regularly.
That's so true. The people who seem talented are usually just the people who practice more and have more fun with it.
Exactly. Sarah, let me ask our listeners something. How do you build confidence in English?
Great question. I think confidence comes from small successes. Every time you understand something new or communicate successfully, you feel a little more confident.
Right. And confidence grows slowly like a plant. You can't force it, but you can create the right conditions for it to grow.
What are those conditions, Sarah? Regular practice, patience with yourself, celebrating small victories, and not being afraid of mistakes.
Perfect. And Sarah, here's something important. Confident English speakers are not perfect English speakers. They just don't worry too much about being perfect.
That's such an important distinction, Mike. Confidence means being okay with making mistakes and focusing on communication, not perfection.
Exactly. Native speakers make mistakes all the time, but they don't stop talking because of it.
Right. Mike, what would you say to listeners who feel embarrassed about their English level?
I would say you're brave. Learning a new language takes courage. Most people never try to learn a second language, but you're doing it.
That's beautiful, Mike. And remember, listeners, every expert was once a beginner. Every fluent English speaker was once at your level.
Yes, the only difference between a beginner and an advanced speaker is time and practice. That's it.
And you know what, Mike? I think English learners are some of the most interesting people in the world. They're curious, brave, and open to new experiences.
I completely agree, Sarah. Learning English shows that you want to connect with people from different cultures and expand your world.
That's something to be proud of. Mike, let's talk about building good learning habits. What's the secret to making daily practice easier?
I think the secret is making it so easy that you can't say no. Like, if your goal is to practice for 5 minutes, it's hard to say, I don't have time.
Exactly. And once you start, you might continue for longer. But even if you only do 5 minutes, that's success.
Right. The goal is consistency, not perfection. 365 days of 5-minute practice is better than 10 days of 1-hour practice.
Great math, Mike. Consistency beats intensity every time.
Mike, what about motivation? How can listeners stay motivated on difficult days?
Good question. I think it helps to have multiple reasons for learning English. Don't just have one goal, have many goals.
Can you give examples, Sarah?
Sure. Maybe you want to travel and get a better job and watch movies without subtitles and make international friends. If one goal feels far away, another goal might motivate you.
That's smart. Multiple motivations make you stronger. Sarah, what about tracking progress? How does that help with motivation?
Tracking progress is so important for motivation. When you feel discouraged, you can look back and see how far you've come.
Right. Maybe 6 months ago, you didn't understand this podcast at all. Now you understand most of it. That's incredible progress.
Exactly. And listeners, if you're understanding this conversation right now, you're already succeeding. This is intermediate level English, and you're following along.
That's such a good point, Sarah. Sometimes we don't realize how much we've already learned.
Mike, I want to tell our listeners something important. It's okay to have bad days. It's okay to feel frustrated sometimes.
Yes, frustration is part of learning. It means you're challenging yourself and growing.
Right. The key is not to let bad days turn into bad weeks or bad months. One difficult day doesn't erase all your progress.
Perfect attitude, Sarah. Tomorrow is always a fresh start. You can always begin again.
And remember, listeners, You're not alone in this journey. There are millions of English learners around the world, all working towards similar goals.
That's right. We're all part of a big global English learning community. We're here to support each other.
Mike, before we move to our fun interaction section, is there anything else you want to say to encourage our listeners?
Yes, I want to say believe in yourself. You've already come so far, and you have the power to go even further. Every day of practice is an investment in your future self.
That's beautiful, Mike. And I want to add, be patient and kind to yourself. Learning a language is one of the most amazing things a human brain can do. You're doing something incredible.
Perfect. Now let's have some fun and share personal stories about English practice.
Okay, Mike, now it's time for my favorite part of the podcast. Let's share some personal and funny stories about practicing English. This will show our listeners that even teachers have silly moments.
I love this idea, Sarah. Should I go first?
Yes, please. Tell us a funny story about your English practice.
Okay, this is embarrassing, but I'll share it. When I was learning to improve my English pronunciation, I used to practice in my car while driving to work.
Oh no, what happened?
Well, one day I was practicing saying TH sounds, think, thank you, three. I was really concentrating and making exaggerated mouth movements.
I can picture this.
So I stopped at a red light, still practicing my TH sounds, and I looked to my right. There was another car next to me, and the driver was staring at me with a very confused expression.
Oh my goodness, what did you do?
I was so embarrassed. I pretended to be singing along to music. I started nodding my head and tapping the steering wheel like I was listening to a song.
That's hilarious, Mike. Did the other driver believe you?
I don't know. They kept staring at me until the light turned green. I drove away as fast as I could.
That's such a great story, Mike. And you know what? It shows that you were dedicated to practicing pronunciation, even in your car.
Thank you, Sarah. It was embarrassing at the time, but now I think it's funny. And my pronunciation did improve.
See, listeners, sometimes English practice leads to funny situations, but that's okay. It's all part of the journey.
Exactly. Sarah, now it's your turn. Do you have a funny English practice story?
Oh, I have a good one. This happened when I was practicing English conversations. I used to practice ordering food in English by talking to myself in the mirror.
That's a great practice technique. What went wrong?
Well, I was practicing ordering pizza. I was in my bedroom, looking in the mirror and saying things like, "I'd like a large pizza with mushrooms and pepperoni, please."
That sounds like good practice to me.
It was, but I was so focused on the mirror that I didn't hear my roommate come home. She walked past my room and heard me talking.
Oh, no. Did she think you were on the phone?
Worse, she thought I was ordering real pizza. She came into my room and said, "Did you order pizza? I'm so hungry. When will it arrive?"
What did you tell her?
I had to explain that I was just practicing English conversation. She looked at me like I was crazy. Then she said, "Well, since you practiced ordering pizza, maybe we should order real pizza now."
That's actually a happy ending. Did you order pizza?
We did, and I got to practice my phone ordering skills for real, so it worked out perfectly.
I love that story, Sarah. It shows how English practice can lead to unexpected adventures.
Exactly. And my roommate started helping me practice conversations after that. She would pretend to be a shop clerk or a restaurant server.
That's wonderful. She became your English practice partner.
Yes. Sometimes embarrassing moments lead to great opportunities. Mike, do you have any stories about using English in real situations?
Oh, yes. I have a story about my first time ordering coffee in English when I visited London.
Ooh, this sounds interesting. What happened?
Well, I had practiced ordering coffee many times, just like you practiced ordering pizza. I felt very confident.
But something went wrong?
Not exactly wrong, but unexpected. I went to a coffee shop and said very clearly, I would like a medium coffee with milk, please.
That sounds perfect. What was the problem?
The barista said, would you like that with semi-skimmed milk, whole milk, oat milk, almond milk, soy milk, or coconut milk?
Oh my! You weren't prepared for so many choices?
Not at all. In my practice sessions, milk was just milk. I stood there for about 10 seconds with my mouth open, not knowing what to say.
What did you do?
Finally, I just said, surprise me. The barista laughed and gave me oat milk. It was delicious.
That's a great solution, Mike. Surprise me is a useful phrase when you don't know what to choose.
Exactly. And the barista was so friendly. She explained the different types of milk to me. It became a learning conversation.
I love that. It shows that most people are happy to help English learners. Don't be afraid to say, I don't understand, or can you explain?
Right. People appreciate honesty and they usually want to help.
Mike, I have another story. This one is about reading English in public.
Oh, tell us.
I was on a bus reading an English novel. I was very focused on the story, and I came to a funny part that made me laugh out loud.
That's great. It means you really understood the humor in English.
Yes, but I laughed so loudly that everyone on the bus turned to look at me. I was so embarrassed.
What did you do?
I tried to explain by showing them the book and saying, it's very funny. But that just made people stare at me more.
No. Did anyone understand?
Actually, yes. An elderly man sitting across from me asked, what book is that? We ended up having a wonderful conversation about books and reading.
That's beautiful, Sarah. Your embarrassing moment became a social opportunity.
Exactly. And he recommended several other books to me, and I'm still reading authors he suggested.
These stories show something important, Sarah. English practice doesn't just happen in classrooms or with apps. It happens in real life, in unexpected ways.
That's so true, Mike. And real-life practice is often messy and surprising, but that's what makes it valuable.
Right. You can't prepare for every situation, but you can develop the confidence to handle surprises.
And listeners, I want to ask you some questions. We want to hear about your English practice experiences.
Great idea, Sarah. Listeners, think about these questions while we ask them. You don't have to answer out loud, but think about your answers.
Okay, first question. Do you practice English every day? If yes, what's your favorite way to practice?
Take a moment to think about that. Maybe you listen to music or read news or talk to yourself in the mirror like Sarah.
Yes. Here's the second question. What's the funniest or most embarrassing thing that happened to you while practicing English?
Everyone has a story like this. Maybe you tried to order food and said the wrong word, or maybe you practiced pronunciation and someone heard you.
Those stories are the best. They show that you're brave enough to try, and that's what matters most.
Third question. What motivates you to keep learning English? What's your big dream or goal?
This is important to remember, especially on difficult days. Your motivation is your power.
Last question. What advice would you give to someone who wants to start practicing English every day but feels scared or lazy?
Think about what you would tell a friend in this situation. Sometimes we give better advice to others than to ourselves.
These are great questions for self-reflection, Sarah. Our listeners can think about them after the podcast ends.
And if any of our listeners want to share their stories, they can leave comments on our YouTube channel. We love reading about your English learning journeys.
Yes, your stories inspire other learners and show that we're all in this together.
Absolutely. Now, Mike, let's summarize everything we've talked about today. I think our listeners have learned a lot.
Great idea. Let's make sure everyone remembers the most important points from today's episode.
Okay, everyone. We've covered so much information today. Let's review the most important points about daily English practice. Mike, what was our main message?
Our main message was a little bit of English practice every day is much more powerful than long study sessions once or twice a week.
Perfect. And why is daily practice more effective, Mike?
Because our brains learn better with regular, consistent input. It's like exercising your muscles or charging your phone battery.
Exactly. Daily practice helps you build habits, remember what you learned yesterday, and feel more confident about English.
Right. And Sarah, what were the different ways people can practice English every day?
Great question. We talked about 4 skills. For listening, you can use podcasts, music, YouTube videos, and TV shows.
For speaking, you can talk to yourself, use AI apps, join language exchange programs, or read aloud.
For reading, you can read social media, simple news websites, signs and labels, children's books, or graded readers.
And for writing, you can keep a journal, write text messages, post on social media, or make lists in English.
The key is to choose activities you enjoy. If you like cooking, watch cooking videos in English. If you like sports, read sports news in English.
Exactly. When you enjoy your practice, it doesn't feel like work. It feels like fun.
Now, Mike, let's review our practical tips. What was the first tip?
Start small. Begin with just 5 or 10 minutes a day. Don't try to study for hours on your first day.
Tip number 2, choose the same time every day to practice. This helps you build a strong habit.
Tip number 3, set small, specific goals. Instead of improve English, say, learn 5 new words this week.
Tip number 4, track your progress with a notebook or phone. This helps you see how much you're improving.
Tip number 5, don't worry about mistakes. Mistakes are normal and helpful for learning.
Tip number 6, mix different types of practice. Don't just do one activity. Try listening, speaking, reading, and writing.
Tip number 7, find an accountability partner or join online communities for support and motivation.
Tip number 8, celebrate small victories. Be proud of every step forward, no matter how small.
Tip number 9, be flexible. If you usually practice for 15 minutes, but only have 5 minutes today, practice for 5 minutes.
And tip number 10, make it fun. Choose topics and activities that make you happy and interested.
Those are all excellent tips, Sarah. Now, what did we practice together with our listeners?
We did repeat after me phrases, daily conversation questions, and role play exercises about ordering coffee and asking for directions.
And we practiced describing weather, feelings, and daily routines. These are all very useful for everyday English conversations.
Right. Even if our listeners felt shy, the important thing is that they tried. Every moment of practice helps.
Absolutely. And Sarah, what did we tell listeners about motivation and confidence?
We told them that progress is often invisible day by day, but it's always happening, like a tree growing in your garden.
Right. And we said that everyone learns at their own speed. Comparing yourself to others is not helpful.
We also shared that breakthrough moments will come if you keep practicing consistently. Those magic moments when suddenly everything feels easier.
And we reminded listeners that confidence comes from small successes, not from being perfect.
Exactly. Confident English speakers are not perfect English speakers. They just don't worry too much about making mistakes.
We also shared some funny personal stories to show that everyone has embarrassing English moments, and that's completely normal.
Right. Those embarrassing moments often lead to great learning opportunities and funny memories.
Sarah, what's the most important thing we want our listeners to remember?
I think the most important thing is start today, start small, but start. Even 5 minutes of English practice today is better than planning to study for 3 hours next week.
Perfect. And remember, consistency beats intensity. 365 days of small practice is better than 10 days of long study sessions.
Your English is like a muscle that needs daily exercise or a plant that needs daily water. A little bit every day keeps it healthy and growing.
And don't forget, you're already succeeding. If you understood this podcast, you're already at an intermediate level. Be proud of how far you've come.
That's so true, Mike. Our listeners should feel proud that they chose to invest time in learning English today.
Absolutely. Learning a new language is one of the most incredible things humans can do. You're doing something amazing.
So, listeners, what's your next step? What will you do today to practice English?
Maybe you'll write 3 sentences in a journal about your day. Maybe you'll listen to an English song. Maybe you'll read an article about your hobby.
Whatever you choose, make it small, make it enjoyable, and make it today.
And remember, tomorrow you can do it again, and the day after that. Small steps every day leading to big results.
Your future self will thank you for every minute of practice you do today.
That's beautiful, Sarah. I think we've given our listeners everything they need to start their daily English practice journey.
I agree. Now let's end with our closing message to send everyone off with motivation and encouragement. So everyone, we've reached the end of today's episode. Mike, how do you feel about everything we shared?
I feel so excited for our listeners, Sarah. They have so many great ideas and tools now to practice English every day.
Me too. I hope everyone feels inspired to start their daily practice journey today, right after this podcast ends.
Yes, and listeners, remember, you don't need perfect conditions to start. You don't need the perfect textbook, the perfect app, or the perfect schedule.
Exactly. You just need 5 minutes and the willingness to try. That's all.
And if you feel nervous or unsure, that's completely normal. Every English learner feels that way sometimes. Even we felt that way when we were learning.
Right. The difference between successful English learners and unsuccessful ones is not talent or luck. It's consistency and patience.
Keep showing up, keep practicing, keep believing in yourself. Your English will grow stronger every single day.
And remember, you're already succeeding. There are millions of English learners around the world all working towards similar goals.
We're all here to support each other. If you have questions, stories, or just want to say hello, please leave comments on our YouTube channel.
Yes, we love hearing from our listeners. Your comments and stories inspire us to make more episodes.
And if this episode helped you, please share it with friends who are learning English too. Learning together is more fun than learning alone.
That's such a good point, Mike. Sharing knowledge makes it stronger.
Before we finish, Sarah, do you have any final words of encouragement for our listeners?
Yes, I want to tell everyone, be patient and kind to yourself. Language learning is a marathon, not a sprint. Enjoy the journey.
Beautiful advice, Sarah. And I want to add, celebrate every small victory. Every new word you learn, every sentence you understand, every conversation you have, they all matter.
Your English journey is unique and valuable. Don't compare your progress to anyone else's. Focus on being better than you were yesterday.
And remember, making mistakes is part of learning. Don't let fear of making mistakes stop you from practicing and improving.
Exactly. Brave learners become confident speakers. You're already being brave by listening to this podcast and working to improve your English.
That's so true. Listeners, you should feel proud of yourselves for taking this time to learn and grow.
Okay, everyone. Thank you so much for spending this time with us today. We hope you enjoyed learning about the power of daily English practice.
Thank you for being such wonderful listeners. We hope you'll practice something from today's episode, even if it's just for 5 minutes.
And we hope you'll join us again for our next episode. We have so many more helpful topics planned for you.
Until then, keep practicing, keep believing in yourself, and keep enjoying your English learning journey.
This was Beginner English, the podcast. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Mike.
Remember, practice every day, even a little bit, and your English will grow stronger.
See you next time.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye. Happy practicing.